From hotspots and hidden gems to lots of local flavor, it's your guide to all things good, the Unscripted way. And tonight, we're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Hello, everyone, and welcome to LA Unscripted. I'm Dana Devin from San Laurel Restaurant, created by Spanish chef and humanitarian Jose Andres. But before we get to the feasting for the festivity, we're hitting the streets with a local artist inspiring change one mural at a time.
I've done over 100 murals in Los Angeles. It's about the representation and a message of empowerment, and it's achieved not just through me, but through the community. My name is Sergio Robledo. I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm a fine artist, muralist, and educator. My dad immigrated actually here to Boyle Heights from Nicaragua, and then my mom's Mexican. Honestly, my first mural, I didn't even realize I was doing a mural, but I recall drawing an image on my wall in my bedroom when I was a kid. But then, you know, being around different scenes from graffiti artists to other fine artists, I started to see the potential of large-scale pieces, and I was attracted to it. We're in Boyle Heights at First Street Billiards. I painted this mural in 2018, and this mural specifically is paying honor to the East Low streetscapers. I grew up in Downey, but as far as art influence goes, one that really stands out in my memory is Norman Rockwell. He had this gift for capturing the nuances of narratives and storytelling. And then, you know, even at the end of the career, he started to realize he needed to use his art for a greater purpose. So the one at Albion Riverside Park in Lincoln Heights, the Department of Cultural Affairs wanted me to tap into civil rights, local athletes of accolade, local landmarks, and the history of the LA River. So, you know, at the forefront in that mural, you have Sal Castro, who was the teacher that led the walkouts in the late 60s, Paula Crisostomo, who was a student, who still is currently active in equality and education, Bobby Castillo, Leo Santa Cruz, who's a boxer, Kenny Washington, who was the first African-American signed into the NFL with the Los Angeles Rams. With my murals, I do some that are public, some that are in businesses, and even some that are in schools. So we're at Brooklyn Elementary in East LA. They just had their centennial, and they wanted to have a mural to sort of celebrate that. One thing that kind of resonated was this idea of roots. It's the nutrient center where things get distributed out. One thing that's important is that we instill in them those values. So lining up directly with the centennial and the celebration not too long after was the actual graduation. So it was only perfect that you had the entire student body that was graduating, lining up the stairs, also proudly standing. My other full-time job is I teach high school art out in Chino Hills at Ayala High School. And the reason why I even got into teaching is because it gave me something to care about. When I reflect on the opportunity I have to do these murals, I'm just grateful. And the end game for me is not necessarily myself being on the platform, but just making sure if I'm gonna leave a trace of anything, that it's good food for people, even if I die and pass on. Like, it's still gonna do a good thing in people.
And from street art to moving masterpieces, we're in the studio with LA-based Emmy-winning animator Jorge Gutierrez.
When I first started, I was rejected a lot. People would usually say, this subject matter, book of life, a movie about dying, this subject matter is too weird or too morose. In my head, I always thought, eventually they're gonna catch up and they're gonna realize all this stuff is incredibly universal. My name is Jorge Gutierrez, and I'm an artist, writer, and director.
My lady! Please help me reunite with the love of my life.
Book of Life has a pretty long history. It took me 14 years to get that film made. It was an idea I wanted to make since film school, and then I was very lucky in that I got to pitch it through Guillermo del Toro, and he became a producer, and I owe the movie to him because with his backing and his support, we got to make the film, and it changed my life. to see a giant, building-sized billboard of our movie in my hometown I just cried like a baby. It was very overwhelming. I was originally born in Mexico City, and then when I was 9 years old, we moved to Tijuana. I've been drawing my whole life. I really got into drawing as a little kid, and my parents tell these stories that I was like a party monkey, where they would hold me up upside down and they would have me draw for the whole family. In 1994, I got into CalArts, California Institute of the Arts, and I moved to LA, and I've been here ever since. This is a poster from our movie, The Book of Life, and then this is a poster of Maya and the Three. As a kid who really wanted to make cartoons, I couldn't look up to other Latino creators because there weren't any examples for me. So I looked at Guillermo del Toro, and I said, I want to be the Guillermo del Toro of cartoons. I am obsessed with Mexican folklore and pop culture. I think the further you get away from your country, the more you romanticize it. And so for me, being able to grab from this buffet of culture and showcase it to the world has been sort of my life mission. My wife, Sandra Kiwa, Emmy-winning Sandra Kiwa, is someone that I've been with since high school. We've always been together. We've always worked together. She designs all the female characters. She does voices. She reads all my stuff before anybody. And I call her the muse. Maya and the Three is inspired by my wife, Sandra, when I met her. Maya is a teenage princess who's a rebel and goes on this crazy quest. And I feel like that's what happened to my wife. The show came out in October of last year, and it was in the top 10 in 54 countries around the world. Stories from Latin America, studies from Latino creators, they can connect. We just need those opportunities. People have pictures of their families in their homes. These are our families to us. The biggest lesson I want to pass to my son, Luca, who's 13, is we come from a culture that's very strong, but don't let the culture define you. You define the culture. Now that I've made enough stuff that I can inspire kids to go, if he could do it, maybe I can do it. Because if you don't see somebody that looks like you doing the things you want to do, it's a leap that's bigger. But if you see somebody that looks like you, that grew up like you, that literally is part of your culture, you go, well, if they could do it, maybe I can do it.
The Book of Life won the Golden Globe for Best Animated Feature Film in 2015. And now to the local couple trying to turn the page on history. Get ready to think big and shop small.
We have Mexican folklore, we have Asian American stories, Black history books, 50 African American women that changed the world. So it's a quick snapshot of the diversity present here in our store. My name is Stephanie Moran Reed, and welcome to Mija Books. So there's actually two pronunciations for our bookstore. One, Spanish speakers will see it as mija, which is the colloquial word for my daughter in Spanish. It has a much deeper meaning for us because it's actually the first two initials of our daughter's first and middle name, Mireya Jamila. So another pronunciation is Mija.
Who are you?
I am Mexican American. Both my parents were born in Mexico and they now live here in the States. And my husband, he's Black, his parents are from the South. So our daughter, she's beautifully mixed with both of us. Mija Books is a multicultural children's bookstore that aims to highlight diverse children, diverse stories, multilingual stories.
This has always been something I would say we wanted to do in terms of a project that's impactful.
I like this bookstore because it has a lot of different types of books and they're all fun to read.
We opened our store November 1st of 2021. Our brand actually started in 2020 during the height of the pandemic. At the time, my daughter was turning 1. We struggled to find these books not only in traditional retailers, but even online we struggled to find books that were representative of her culture, of other people's cultures. And so we started just as a resource online, building lists for other parents and educators to find these types of books to make it easier. Yeah, it was extremely important for us to find books with representation because we truly believe that having these conversations from day one will lead her to loving her world, loving herself, and she won't know any different if we're introducing that to her from day one.
And we're spotlighting even more ways to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month after the break. The gowns, the art. We'll be right back from the San Laurel restaurant in downtown LA. Observed from September 15th to October 15th, Hispanic Heritage Month honors the cultures and contributions of both Hispanic and Latino Americans. Welcome back to LA Unscripted from the stunning Conrad Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. But now let's catch up with Olivia De Bertoli, who's moving and shaking in Huntington Park.
Even if you go front and back.
So it's just really hip
it's
movement
just
at
hip
the end of the
movement.
day, which I don't have too much of, but we can do it.
Honduras Kitchen opened its doors back in '92. It's a little piece of Honduras in Southern California. So anybody that comes here, you have a little taste of our food, a little taste of our culture, a little piece of our roots.
My parents immigrated to here. They saw a lack of representation for the Honduran community here in Southern California. So I think that kind of sparked an interest in them to kind of want to represent themselves and also help the community that had a lack of representation. That is what caused them to open the original location in Pacific in Huntington Park, Honduras Kitchen, also known as El Dorado's Kitchen back then.
Very tropical food. So our soups contain coconut base. We're known for the sopa de caracol. It's very famous because of a song that's used to hit back in the early 90s, early 2000s. We could probably play that later. You can probably try dancing later as well. What conch is what you find inside the snail. And you mix that with a little sopa coconut-based soup, and it gives it an amazing flavor. But then again, if you're in the streets of Honduras and your mom wakes up late or wakes up early and if she wants to cook something, she'll always make a baleada, which is a flour tortilla, beans, cream, and cheese. You can have that in the morning with eggs, you can have that in the afternoon with a Coke and a steak in it, or avocado. You can build it the way you like, but at the same time, it's that dish that you can find throughout the whole day. There we go. Feel the fluffiness of the tortilla, how soft it is.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Being born and raised in Southern California, we're all misrepresented sometimes and kind of categorized as just being Hispanic or maybe just Mexican for the lack of understanding that there's different communities. This is a melting pot. How can we represent ourselves a little bit different from the rest of the community so that people know, oh, we're not just this, we're not just that. There's different types of people in the community.
My parents is from Honduras as well, so my father's a musician, so I grew up watching my father doing what he was doing. It's kind of like what son want to be like father type of thing, so the music always been in me, you know, and every time I would listen to Punta, it would just uplift me, it would just make me feel free and feel like I can actually achieve anything that I want to achieve. Punta dance is literally a culture dance, you know, it's very spiritual, it's something that's very uplifting and that literally tells a story, you know. Mainly Punta was created to celebrate people's death. You know, it's like a celebration to keep their legacy alive. Yeah, that's it. You got it. I got you.
I have no rhythm, but that's okay.
It. No, you got the rhythm already.
Okay.
The idea is that they feel like they're at home. I mean, I have customers who come in here and they get a sense of home when they're here. I mean, people that have not been to Honduras in so long, maybe since they've got here. So it's been years since they've tasted this food, the original taste of the food. So it brings that feeling to them, and that is the point, the idea of it.
We'll be back with some delicious things to drink and eat and some incredible things to wear as we continue to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. We'll be right back. Welcome back to LA Unscripted from Conrad Hotel Los Angeles and our celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. And continuing our thread of changemakers, Johanna Hernandez is considered one of the most influential Latina American designers whose evening wear has taken her from the streets of Compton straight to Beverly Hills.
Being a Latina woman here in Beverly Hills is really important because there are people who are not used to seeing that here. So for me, I just really want to work with excellence with everything, show the most beautiful designs, give the best customer service, the best quality. Hi, I'm Johanna Hernandez and I'm designer of Glaudy. Glaudy is evening gowns, bridal, men's bespoke suits. Glaudy is my brand that I designed, inspired by my parents actually, my mom and my dad. I grew up seeing them work at factories, sewing, and to people they were invisible as far as like they just made clothes, and to me I saw they were so talented. They showed me how to sew and unsew things, but it was just for fun. When I started growing up, I was like, this is not fair, like they're getting paid so little and it's like sweatshop work and these conditions aren't good. So they really inspired me to create my brand. So Gladys is my mother and I called it Glaudy to give it a twist. My first collection was on Wall Street, then it went to Bravo and all these different shows. And then I just started working for Fortune 500 companies until I was 27. So when I started Glaudy, it was all for charity. My friends and I got together, we wanted to do nonprofit fashion shows to bring Latinos together because all my friends are for different countries. And out of nowhere, as soon as I launched my collection, I get the hottest Latin pop stars to be in my fashion show and then to do their tours. So our Glaudy Bridal collection, I design it and then we make it in-house. So this is our Ariana dress. I designed it while I was in Rome. I love this gown for a woman who's not afraid to shine. So this is for a bride who loves the A-line dress and the mermaid dress as the skirt is removable. My men's collection is something that's very exciting. I grew up with all men, and honestly, one of the reasons why I started my collection is in 2020, my dad passed away of COVID. And I just wanted to really do something to empower men also. So what I love about our men's collection is that everything is handmade to fit their measurements perfectly. If you look inside, it's all personalized. We have custom lining. You could choose whichever lining you want.
Well, we've seen celebrities in your work as well.
So I've done like all the Latina legend stars, but one of the ones that has really been the most important and I love her so much is Serena Williams. Like, I grew up in Compton, and when she saw me, she knew who I was. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the legend, the GOAT, the best ever. So I went from Compton to Downey to now Beverly Hills. So I opened the store in 2019. The great thing about Beverly Hills is they're really open. I'm the first Latina since 1965 on the Beverly Hills Courier newspaper, which is really amazing. So the city in general has been super kind and has welcomed me with open arms.
And we celebrate your sparkle. Thank you. All right, now to a little spice.
I wanted to open a restaurant because I wanted to create healthier Mexican food, and it's something that I was learning from my grandmother. Mi Corazon is an organic Mexican restaurant in the heart of Silver Lake. I came up with the name Mi Corazon because my grandma used to call us that when we were young. It was like a term of endearment. And since my grandmother taught me how to cook, this was all in her memory.
This is the grass-fed flat iron steak with chipotle butter. Oh my God. Where did they even get this? Oh my God.
We have grass-fed beef from New Zealand, organic chicken, wild-caught seafood. Our shrimp is from Baja. I know what goes in Mexican food. You know, the artificial chicken bouillon in the rice, the lard in the beans. Our rice and beans are vegan. They have lots of flavor from onions and garlic. All our sauces are vegan. I think the way we cook our food here, people do notice that it tastes better.
These are their fish tacos. I mean, can we just for 1 second admire the beauty that is this taco? Oh yeah. Mmm.
So now that my daughters are older, they love to come and help and be a part of what we created here, and they really understand it. And it's great to hear my older daughter, Zyla, say, I love working there. And she's really proud of what we make here.
All of our wines are from Valle de Guadalupe, and we really wanted to make sure all of our wines were from Mexico here to, support our culture. We're an amazing tequila bar. We have over 60 tequilas and mezcals. So we also have a barrel aging program where we rest the cocktails in for 30 days, and it just gives it a much more elevated taste. Some unique drinks we have is, my favorite personally is the Coco Loco, which literally tastes like you're on vacation.
Hey, I thought that was for me.
Oh, the next one's for you. No, this one's for you.
Ooh, this looks so good. Oh my God. Oh,
right?
Wow. You said it right. It's like a dessert in a glass. Oh my God. It's my new favorite drink. I swear.
I love working with my mom and my sister and my family because it's just a great way for us to spend extra time together. We all really care about this place, and it kind of just keeps us together, and I think we're a great team.
I can say everything on our menu is worth trying because it's the best. It means a lot to me as a Latina woman to own a Mexican restaurant because I know it inspires my daughters and my friends and family, and I hope others.
And that is all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much to the beautiful San Laurel restaurant. And remember, Hispanic Heritage Month runs all the way through October 15th. So get out there and explore all the ways to give back to the community that makes up 49% of our beautiful city. Good night. We'll see you next time. Mwah.